Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is another chance to get to learn something today. So we are talking about youth, 20 to 29 specifically. And today I have very good people around here. But before we do that, let me do the introduction. Your host will be Toroitich Patrick Egon, and the channel is Toroitich Patrick Egon. And in case you're joining us for the first time, there is some analytics I've done, and I've realized that most of us are watching the videos without actually subscribing. And I'm inviting you to be part of this community. Remember to leave a like and share that to your friends. So let's go back. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
You're fine.
I'm doing well.
You're doing well.
Yes.
So coincidentally, these two people, they came differently, but they have a lot of similarities, more than they actually knew. So we have Jackie and we have Hillary. So let me start from ladies first. Yes, tell us your name.
My name is Tallam Jacqueline.
Yes.
I come from Eldoret. And I'm pleased to be here today to share on matters youth and generally all the activities that we're doing.
Good. Yes.
My name is Hillary Chepkerio. That is my first name. I originate from Baringo County, but I do stay in Eldoret doing stuffs for the youths. I'm a motivational speaker, keynote speaker, inspirational speaker, a corporate trainer. I'm also a teacher, a trained teacher. Thank you.
Yes. I know you have said a lot of things. We'll come back to that. So, Jackie, how is Eldoret?
Eldoret is, well,
Yes.
the city of champions, yet to be.
So, City of Champions, Baringo?
Home of diversity.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Great diversity.
Nandi,
Home of champions,
Home of Champions. Elgeyo Marakwet,
source of
Source of
champions.
champions.
why do they fight about the champions?
A champion.
Maradhonas.
But you also have the Maradhonas in Baringo.
So many of them.
Like Paul Telka.
Yes.
So good. Generally, what is your observation about youth in Eldoret?
Eldoret, the youths are doing well, though we won't miss any challenge. But we're trying our best to work on improving the youth in the society. We have a number of organizations that are really coming up to tackle matters that affect the youths, encouraging the youths, and yeah, that is it.
Good.
There's a number of programs that have been made
Yes.
to deal with the youths. And the CSO network, I've noticed a number of them are youth.
Good. So tell us, on a normal day, who is Jackie?
On a normal day, Jackie is a daughter, Jackie is a sister, Jackie is a friend to a number of people, and Jackie is a mentor. Yeah, that is on a normal day.
On a working day?
On a working day, Jackie is a German linguist, Jackie is a Toastmaster, and Jackie, I belong to a number of organizations. One of them I'm the chair, Circle of Hope. The other one, in Toastmasters I'm the Vice President Public Relations, and in Sahara Center I'm the Project Manager, Program Manager, Mentorship Department.
Hillary,
Yes.
you can hear the accolades.
Exactly.
Tell us, you are a man of very many things as well,
Exactly.
many talents. So tell us now, one by one, what you have been doing.
Okay, first, it's so hard to understand my programs because on a normal day, I am a brother.
Yes.
I am a brother to four brothers, of which you are five. I'm a firstborn to them. They really look up to me. And I'm also a mentor to them and also a mentor to the society itself.
Yes.
Again, I go to school, speak to students, not only on majorly academics or any other thing, but again, we do programs and develop programs for schools.
Yes.
Majorly the programs that are being developed are the programs that runs at school. That is what we majorly do.
Yes.
Again, at home, that is, you can say on a normal day again,
Yes.
I am someone who is passionate about fun, especially goat fun.
Yes.
That is what I really like. On a normal day again, I am very passionate about writing. I do write, and I really want to do 3 things for my followers on Facebook. Number 1 is to educate. Number 2 is to entertain, and number 3 is to give an exclusive on how people should act. So we should educate, entertain, and inspire.
Nice
Yes.
one. Very good intro from the two. So let's go back. Question number 1. Why are you looking at me? I wanted to know. So, dear viewers, I have some very tough difficulty here. One is
Yes.
looking at me because he knows I want to ask the age. Another one declared that ladies cannot be asked their ages.
You want to ban?
I want to ban. Okay. So, but I'm pretty sure. Just confirm. Say yes, nay, or nay, or
I or nay?
yes. So, all of us are between 20 to 29.
I.
Ah, good.
We are
Nice,
good.
Avi. So let's go. What has been your experience? Jackie, you talked about adulting. What has been your experience between 20 to 29?
That question,
Yes.
adulting. There was a time I remember asking some questions, adulting. And recently I've been viewing people, they've been asking the same question. Someone posted that he thought when someone is 30 years old, they have everything, they can make their own decisions. But getting to 30, you wish you were a child. There's a lot happening between your expectations before you get to that age. So there's a lot happening. When I think about adulting, there's a lot I would really want to ask. There's a lot of experience up to where I am right now. And there's a lot I wish I knew. There's a lot I'm grateful I've known them. And there's a lot I know I'm yet to know. So you can see there's a lot of knowing along the way. So adulting is a stage. I think it's a stage, it's a process, because it is a journey of trying to identify yourself. You're no longer under your parents full time. You're trying to be independent. Some are trying to establish families. Some are trying to stabilize in their career path. I believe that number of us have gone to colleges. There's a lot going on in that adulting period. Yeah.
So because I know both of my interviews today are graduates, I want you to give me the 2 scenarios. What you actually had as your imagination in your Form 4 and what actually happened after, when now the reality set in. And then we do the second phase, what you actually imagined when you were graduating and what you actually got after graduation. So let's start from Hillary. Tell us your Form 4, the thinking.
Okay, my thinking especially when I was in Form 4,
Yes.
was to get a good grade in KCSE, which eventually happened. Joined a very good campus,
Yes.
University of Eldoret. So my imagination was, this is a career that is going to give me the lifestyle that I want. So my imagination was huge, expectations, they were a lot.
Yes.
So I was expecting when I come out of campus, men, I'll walk out in 20 office and they lie at me. They love to say, young man, come tomorrow, work with us. But bro, there's heartbreak. Yes, we are experiencing it. But we are coping up with it. But currently, if you want to do that as a youth, you have to put your expectation at a low rate. Lower your expectations.
Yes.
Go hard on your dream, whatever you want.
Yes.
Your dream is not only that career that you've got. Your dream is what you purpose for yourself. Yes. So from the age of 0, especially 20 to 29, it is the breaking point. It is where you make your life or you break your life. So I usually tell youths, at the age of 20 to 29, majorly, what happens is, at that age, there is something which we call, it is an era where you either make mistakes which is allowed. When you make mistakes in 20 to 29, it is allowed. But when you make a mistake between 30 to 35, my brother, you'll be in troubles. So a youth that is between the age of 20 to 29 is allowed to make any mistake and to recover from the mistake and to learn from the mistake. So it is an age of learning. So do any mistake, be it financial mistake, be it relationship mistakes. Yes, do it.
I'm getting that concept. Risk more. But
Yes.
let me take you back to you have just shifted from Form 4 to the university.
Yes.
What was the shock? How did you manage the process?
First,
Yes.
in campus, when we were in Form 4, their teaching practice teachers will come to our schools.
Yes.
And they'll tell us, bro, when you go to campus, you have your own money. So they'll tell you that help gives you a lot of money, which is around 40K, which is a lot of money when you are in high school. Then they'll tell you, bro, when you get there, you girlfriends will not be, you will not be looking for girlfriends. They'll be looking for you. So me, I was going to campus and saying, wapi hao watu wanatafutanga? But the expectations, they were, so when I joined campus, things are exactly difficult and opposite from what I taught. So there is kuinama. So youth knows what kuinama is. You skip lunch. So you skip so that lunch hour come and pass yourself so that other things happen. So there are things like that.
Yes.
And campus, anybody who comes to finish any campus, be it college, TVET or university, I salute that guy. He's an hero. Getting your undergraduate or your certificate or your diploma is a big achievement in your 20s. It's a big one. Yes.
Nice. Talking about transition, I want to remind you that I've written a book known as Transitioning Post High School. It's available for 400 shillings. It's very helpful for you when you are transiting as a youth. So, I told you we have very many similarities between our hosts. She comes right from an area like 1 kilometer radius from UOE.
My
He
school.
studied at UOE, so
Yes.
that's good. But she was in Moi University.
Yes.
So tell us your experience, your campus experience kwa shule ya msitu, Moi University.
Si shule ya
Exactly.
msitu. Okay.
Umejua
He was
kusema.
The foundation of knowledge.
Foundation
Hapo,
of knowledge.
character development and unajifunza ukiwa Moi,
Yes.
I really appreciate that. I joined Moi University when I was transiting to my 20s.
Yes.
So you can see my 20 to where I am right now started from Moi University. My expectations, I joined Moi and I pursued Bachelor of Arts, specializing with German language. And back then, the Jackie who was in high school and the Jackie that was transiting to campus, I was going through a transition. I used to be very shy. I couldn't express myself freely or confidently. I felt like I wanted to be heard, but I used to fear what would people say. So you can imagine joining campus, you have all the freedom, and you have freedom to either to go to class, freedom to either date, because obviously our parents are not around, because when you're at home, you're cautious, your parents will or when you're in high school, you have your teachers and everything. You live. I stayed in a hostel. I had a roommate. My first roommate, I may share that. She was a friend from another ethnic community, and I had not interacted with someone from that community.
Yes.
I had a lot to learn. I had culture shock, but not really. It wasn't really culture shock, since I had observed how students in University of Eldoret behave, and the caution my mom gave me. I know the picture, the picture of being in university. Sometimes they think it's a place, if you don't have your own morals, you would be swayed. You know, it felt like you're being left from a cocoon. Now you are allowed to fly freely. And if you're not cautious enough, and if you don't know what you really wanted to do, you'll find yourself being swayed and getting yourself into unhealthy relationship or a company that won't really direct you on what you really want to achieve in campus. So I didn't have much expectations. I knew I was I lived near University of Alred. I knew my work was to go to class, focus on my studies, and just focus on my studies. But when I joined campus, Moi University, I met people who were ready to share what they had. And I'm really grateful that is when I met Toreti Chegon. I didn't understand really what my course entailed because I wanted to pursue another course, but I pursued German. So I was in a state of confusion. I think I've answered you. That is when in my early 20s. But right now, when I left Moi University, I've left a confident lady. I've built my wings. I've met great men and women. I've had my failures too in Moi University that at some point I feel like, wish I knew. You remember adulting? Wish I knew. But it has shaped me to be who I am right now. But Moi is a good place. Character development yenye unafunzwa huko. From missing marks, tukiwa msitu, wenyewe tuko msitu lakini chakula at least tulikuwa tunapata kwa wingi. University of Alred chakula ilikuwa.
So let me come back to this.
Yes.
You mentioned something about risking.
Yes.
And I remember when we were doing, I think we were transiting from 4th to 5th year, or we were somewhere there, and we were given a task to build a robot for some competition for Moi University.
Yes.
And we had to make a decision by the between forfeiting the exams so that we could do special exams.
Yes.
Or
which is a risk.
Yes, or we miss the competition. It was an acoustic.
Yes.
And I remember one of my teammates was asking his brother, what should I actually do? And the answer was, you are young enough to risk more.
Exactly.
And I think that stuck to my mind. So I want us to speak about the risk-taking aptitude. Why is it important for this youth to actually go beyond their limits? So let me start from Hillary.
So the reason why we are actually urging youths to risk or to take any risk at any cost is number one. But let us share the lights so clear that when we talk about risking, we are not talking about gambling. Yes, we are not talking about aviator. We are not talking about that. We are not talking about flying away. No, we are talking about risking with your dreams and investing in your dreams. So risking majorly talks about investing in your dreams. So it's like, for me, I took a risk in campus that I will be missing some classes so that I go to work. So my work majorly was, I am going to be a motivational speaker. I go to small schools, they pay me with something. So right from third year, I never asked for my parents for any upkeep. And that was a major risk. Imagine missing a class twice a week, or even thrice, or even being out of school for a whole week, later to come and do an exam. It is a risk for anyone who is in campus. But I say to myself, I'm still young. The best time to be alive is being a youth. You have to take risk. You are young. Mark that, you are young. The reason you are young is you can recover from the mistakes that you made. You can come back and you can have a great comeback, not the Manchester comeback. You can have a great impact on your life. And in as much as you are doing a comeback with that risking that you've done, there is a greater impact you've had. When you make a mistake, you learn. Yes, don't repeat the mistake. You learn from the mistakes. I remember the first time I made a mistake. There's a client when I was in campus who called. He wanted me to go, when I speak about clients, they are principals. See, he wanted me to go and speak to his students. And I was used to charging a lesser price because I used to know that I'm still young. I need to charge less. So when he called me, he asked me, how much do you charge? I said, this is the best moment. Today I'll take a risk. I will say an amount that not even my father has ever earned in a salary for a month. So I just told the guy, I am charging a 5-figure amount. Yes, a 5-figure amount, which is more than 30. The guy said, are you for real? I told him, what? I'm real because I'm going to bring you value. So we are exchanging the figures with value. So that is the first risk I ever took, and it paid fruit. So the guy told me, come. It was a young school, but he paid me the amount. Yes.
Nice one.
That is a risk you must take. And from that day, I learned that if you make mistakes, you know your value, you know your worth. Yes. If you don't make, you will be so comfortable. I remember Uhuru Kenyatta said, before he left power, he said, comfort is the incubator of stagnation. When you are so comfortable in a certain place, you are going to stagnate. So move out of your comfort zone. Mistakes will enable you to move out of your comfort zone. So take risk, but we are not talking about gambling risk. Yes.
He has insisted.
Yes.
2 people will kill you.
Yes.
In quotes, eh? The Aviator pilots and the Manchester pilots.
And the Manchester pilots.
So,
I don't understand football.
Football, no. Tell us about your risk, the ones you took, and why. What is your view about risk taking for the youth?
I'll start from my smallest risks that I took in campus.
Yes.
It was a risk for me.
Uh-huh.
Joining organizations,
Uh-huh.
going to speak in public, something that I'd never done before with confidence.
Uh-huh.
To me, that was a great risk. And it has beared fruits.
Uh-huh.
I joined a number of organizations in Mo University, starting with MALP, Mentorship, Authorship, Leadership Program. And that's when I was given a leadership post to be the project coordinator.
Yes.
That was a risk for me because I felt like I can't do it. I don't have the enough skills. But I agreed to take the risk so that I can learn as I continue. I used to fear to make mistakes. Yeah, I thought it to be, when you make a mistake, you're a failure. And that was how when our parents or most guardians, they tell you, we want you to get a good grade, performance. The perception they give us is like failure is bad. But it takes time to take failure as a learning process. So I joined MALP, Mentorship, Authorship, Leadership Program, became a leader among the first time. I joined the other one that gave me great opportunities that I'm really grateful for is AYLF, Africa Youth Leadership Program. It is a national program for youth. I started as a member and later on grew until I became a member, became the coordinator at Mo University. I became the regional coordinator, North Rift. That was a risk for me. And that first risk to be the project coordinator at MALP gave me an opportunity now that you can learn as you continue. So for my case, I took the risk in leadership. And from then, the rest is history. Right now, I'm a leader at an international organization, Eldoret Chapter Club. So for young people to take risks, it starts from within. And the way you've just talked about failure, I noticed one of the things, the greatest fear is failure. Apart from, yes, it's public speaking, because I think for someone to stand in front of an audience, it's one of the greatest fear. We might have content, but you fear how to deliver. You don't know how to deliver. You don't know how to maintain eye contact. Those are some few skills we learn at Toastmasters. But I encourage as young people to take risks. Even we have risk in leadership, but for relationship, I won't advise anything on that. Risks in job opportunities. You might not be qualified in a certain job. That is one thing I'm yet to know much. You can find someone is an IT expert, but doing photography. Yeah? And they are great photographers right now. They took the risk of leaving what they studied, yes, but following your passion. And there's a lot to talk on that. But the key thing, we young people, we should take risks and we learn from the risks and take it positively. Don't take the risk negative, the negative effects that you'll get from the risk negative, but take it positively, grow from it, and become that person you want to be.
Yes, when I posted that you'll be coming for this interview, they told me to ask you questions.
Yes. What are the questions?
I was expecting, I was
And,
waiting for that.
she just mentioned something about the relationship. So they told me to ask you, how did you manage this relationship trouble within this period? Somebody said I ask you if you are married or not, but I'll not do that.
You've already asked.
That one is cancelled. But I'll ask you, how did you manage your relationship?
I might know worse that if it is directed to me.
So, Hillary,
Yes.
open the platform.
Okay. First, relationship, especially in campus, they were tough. I can't lie to you. There are outbreaks. And majorly, what made me to become a motivational speaker is from the outbreaks.
So from today, that outbreaker
Yes.
should be earning a royalty.
From me.
Yes,
She
from
has
you.
a copyright.
Yes.
So I learned a lot from relationships. And there's something called rejections. Especially the youths, they don't know how to handle rejections. And men, when I could go and ask for a girl for a number, and I could see how she's not going to respond for that number, and she tells me, you're not qualified to have my number. And I'm like, what have I done that other men are not doing it? And what you need to do is, you need to go and work hard. I will tell you, especially for men, I'll talk to my gender. Especially at this age of 20 to 29, if you are married, well and good. But especially for us now, we are getting to 30, we are going to get married. So, but those of you who are in campus, I'll advise you, focus on your dreams. Chase your dreams, chase the bag. Because the rejection that we received a few years ago are having an impact to us right now. We are receiving calls or messages from those people who rejected us. They want to have us. What have they seen? They have seen something that this guy has a dream. Now, when it comes to relationships, the major challenge that I faced was most campus ladies, they do hate the good boys. They go for the bad boys.
Sure.
I'm like, okay,
Yes.
continue.
I'm talking about the rough boys. Those two boys who want to go and clubbing or partying. Those are the boys who girls from campus wants. But I'll tend to say those girls, they are not people who really want something from their life. Those are people who want other things. So when I could go approach a girl and ask for the number, she could refuse. Some will give me, but along the way she will play cat and mouse games, and it ends. And I remember the only lasting relationship I had in campus was a 1-year relationship. It lasted for 1 year, and I think that has been the biggest. I think that has been the longest relationship I've ever been back then. But right
It was
now,
an annual contract.
it was an annual contract. So we signed the contract, ended. She went, and I'll really say this, it's a sad story. I wrote on my Facebook wall some few days ago. She told me that I need to go and furnish myself. You know, houses are being furnished. I didn't knew that also men need to furnish themselves. But someone told me, my mentor told me that when someone tells you that you go and furnish yourself, there are things you don't have. Number one was the chums. Or the money, yes.
Money.
So I went to look for it. So the lady came looking for me last year. Where are you? But you know, when you rise, value rise. Yes. You no longer go back to where you were the other time. So relationships are tough, but relationships are again making people to commit other things. So I wouldn't advise you to go look for a mentor, someone who has undergone, who is in a relationship, who knows what is a relationship. And the best thing is, campus relationship should not be put in the heart. Usiweke kwa roho, weka kwa lungs, so that whenever you koa tu inatoka mbio. So relationships at campus, they actually 99% of them don't work. I will say that 99% don't work. So I'll advise you, focus on your dreams. When you focus much on your dream, they will come on later. Thank you.
What you are saying is, Relationships in campus as a project manager are actually projects.
Yes.
They are temporary endeavors.
Contracts.
When I was writing Separated by Blood, it's a story which is part of anthology of More Than Meets the Eye,
Yes.
edited by J.B. Obukangla.
Yes, I know.
I talked about Kiptum,
Yeah.
and I was painting a relationship in campus. And I mentioned something that most relationships, by the way, in campus, they actually terminate per semester.
Yes, exactly.
When you go for long holiday, done.
Done.
What is your view?
That is an interesting topic. Am I comfortable or not comfortable? But I'll talk about it. Campus relationship. Why do I have to go back to my campus life? That's when now I think I tried to date. And from all that, the relationship I had in campus, it didn't work. But I learned a lot. I've noticed the generation that is in campus right now, the Gen Z generation. And there's a difference from our generation and this generation. There's a lot going on. And everybody, I'm yet to, there's a lot, these are talks going on relating to relationship, but from my experience, I had good experiences. We don't look for Hillary.
Yes.
In camp, not all ladies look for bad boys. I didn't look for bad boys.
Yes.
I think
Exclusively.
Exclusively Jackie, good boys.
yeah, they were good.
Yes.
I learned a lot from them. And though it didn't work, but I'm grateful to them. I'm really grateful for the opportunity and all that we learned. And though it didn't work, but I believe there's a reason why. There's something I got from them and there's something they got from me. And right now, the relationship, I don't know if the question was directed to me.
No. No one in particular. No one in particular.
So, yeah. Your question about the relationship. Can you rephrase the question?
No. It's done. One of the concerns by they talked was they are seeing many youth are committing suicide.
Yeah.
They are falling into depression because of issues. What is it? What is different? Because in the past, people are not committing suicide.
Yes.
What is it?
Number one, I'll say is the urge to impress. Boys want to impress girls, which is very pathetic. I wouldn't want to impress you. If you're not impressed by me, I'll not like to impress you. So I'll not go an extra mile to impress you. So if you are not believing in my dreams, so those are boys who go force issues majorly. They like forcing issues. I'll actually urge youths or men, stop forcing issues. If she doesn't like you, there's someone else who is meant for you. Yes. And if she rejects you, accept the rejection in a positive way. The reason I usually take rejection, especially when you are in a relationship and that relationship ends, there's something. Learn from the positives from that person. If that person was a church girl, like I took something from my ex. She was a church girl, and she used to take me. We used to go to church, and I could see her speaking in front of the church, and I could really want to speak like her. And I'm right now speaking like her.
Oh, that is
yes.
Nice.
So you learn from the positive from that person. So give credits to your ex. Even I saw those people who committed suicide in the past, and they could even post on Facebook, and there's a word they could say that I loved you more, but yes. So meaning there was love, and she really appreciated this lady. But currently, she's quitting his life because the love is no longer existing. But what he could have done is he could have picked the positives. Yes, just pick the positive from even in marriage, you pick the positive from your wife or the husband. So you go, vibe together, and move on and build a dream. Yes.
What's your take?
kindly rephrase the question because I'm already overthinking.
Why is it that most of the youth nowadays, they can't actually handle the pressure? They end
Yeah.
up into depression and they're committing suicide.
You will notice a number of them, the way they perceive relationship and how they handle issues at their own. First thing, some people can talk about self-love. I don't know if they really love themselves to an extent, because if you really love yourself, you won't commit suicide. I think there's something we should talk on majorly on about ourselves as an individual. Before you get to love someone, you should love yourself more. And getting to love yourself more, it's not a walk in the park. Kujita mkutano nayo si ya kila mtu, but tunafaa kujita mkutano once in a while and regularly here to learn and relearn things. So the generation that we have right now, the pressure is too much. We have social media and we have influence from the social media and wanting to be like someone else. Yes.
This is a long story, but let me check you back.
Okay.
What makes the difference between love and hate? Because there seems to be a very tiny line between the two. Because at one moment, people are so deep in love. The next moment, somebody is killing the other one. What actually happens?
A lot happens. Obviously, something that will make that, will trigger that hate. But love is a beautiful thing. Love is something, as a Christian, Jesus told us, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Using that statement, I think it will give me an answer to the difference between love and hate. I'll ask a question. Do you love yourself? And if you love yourself, you will do something to please you. And as you love your neighbor, you'll do whatever you do to yourself, you'll also do it to your neighbor. And hate will come because maybe there's a disagreement, unmet expectations, and discouragements. And that is caused by, it's triggered by so many things, maybe background. There's some people who are brought up in some family setup that they didn't have love in the family, maybe brought up by separate parents, they didn't know that picture of love. Or maybe someone was brought up by a parent who didn't love them. So you see, these underlying issues that will cause that hate. Then before that, mostly I would really encourage someone to love yourself. So that if you really love yourself, you won't do something to harm yourself. That will help in not committing suicide. So if you love yourself, you won't commit suicide. And if you love, love, hate, that thing in between. From all that I've just mentioned, it's something it needs, you start with yourself. Before you get into that relationship, first, you have to be satisfied with being yourself, with yourself and everything that is within you before going to have a partner. Because if a second party comes, you will have to learn how to relate, intermingle. And if you don't get to understand, you should also understand that people are different. People have different personalities. You see, now it has a lot in it. But love is a beautiful thing. And social media is really causing a lot of chaos. You see people, someone is killing someone. I think there's an evil spirit, let me call it an evil spirit. When you see someone has killed someone, control anger. Maybe also controlling your anger. You should also know how to control your anger. Ukijita kwa hiyo mkutano, mapenzi ni mzuri, lakini swali yenye napenda kuuliza, ukiwa na hasira, what can you do?
Hillary,
Yes.
as you close on this topic for the youth about relationship, right?
Yes.
I want you to talk about two things. One is the same thing, the love and hate relationship. What do you think is the transition? Then secondly, I want you to talk about why we actually need people to speak out so that they can salvage the situation. Yes.
So I'll start with love and hate. It is two different things, which it has a distinguished moment from, and time is difference between the two. At this moment you love someone, at the next moment you hate someone. That is where the problem comes in. So the main thing you can tell youth is when you are in love, enjoy the moment. When the love is over, enjoy the moment. Yes, move on with the moment. So majorly, I usually say when I'm in a relationship and the relationship gets over at this age, I have something which I usually like. I have my own money. I'll go spend it, squander it, because I've worked for it, if I have an upgrade. So when social media is the factor of all this love and hate, because you post on social media, the pressure comes on social media. Someone posts his girlfriend or his wife, his boyfriend on social media. There are so many comments. You'll have to see so many comments where someone is commenting this and this and that. But I usually say when I have a problem like that, you have to live with the standards where you can be able to, are you able to sustain that heartbreak? Are you able to sustain that love? Because I majorly have a thing between love and hate. If you love someone, I don't really see the reason why you should kill someone. If you love someone, even if the love gets finished or gets to an end, continue with your friendship and leave the hate. You can hate someone on a positive note and not on a negative note. So I usually advise youths, if you are in a relationship, focus more on building yourself as a brand between the two. If the brand isn't working, someone has gained something and someone has walked away with the brand. And for me personally, if my relationship ends today, I'll go somewhere. I'll even go to Mombasa, enjoy my holiday for a whole week, come back refreshed, and we move on again.
And I like that. How sure are we that you are not going for holidays every day? Tell us, why should these people talk out? Why should the youth talk out?
Youth should come out and speak out, though it is so hard for the male gender. Because the society believes that a man shouldn't cry. We grew up when we were told, mwanaume anafaa kukaa ngumu asilie. I also come from a community where crying is perceived to be being weak. Which I also agree to some extent. I usually say when you cry you are weak. But I usually advise men, go cry in your own room where no one sees you. So, but if you find space, talk to a friend. We have all of us have friends. All of us have mentors. We have our parents. Talk to them. To ask them what they have gone through, and you just suggest what you are going through also. Because the moment you see, when you are walking in town, any town you go, you see men who are walking properly dressed, but those men are walking empty. Yes. So being empty is okay, crying is okay, but what are you doing for you to become now better again? So build yourself.
Good.
Yes.
I have a book here. It's called Grit for the Road.
Yes.
Navigating Life Challenges with Resilience. The first session we have been talking about the challenges, the experiences in campus. And the two of you are here today because you are role models. You are actually success figures in whatever fields you have chosen. This means you actually navigated campus in a better way. So tell me, what has been the secret for your successful missions in your dreams so far as youth? So let me start from Jackie.
It's been a journey, and right now I like the hashtag becoming.
Hashtag
Becoming. And I was listening recently to Michelle Obama. She wrote the book Becoming.
Yes.
And I'm yet to read it. But from the views and the few comments that I've been reading, becoming is what I'm doing right now. I'm becoming that lady I aspire to be. That lady that people see. I'll call it a brand. When I mentioned Tallam, Jacqueline, to those who know me, it's something I've been working on. And I have stories, I have experiences, I've met people, I've encouraged people, and those are the things that keep me going and remind me, Jackie, becoming. There are things I would really want to achieve in the near future. Some I've set them, some I'm still working on them, and some I'm working on them right now.
So let me take you back to campus.
Yeah.
What actually made you make through all three? Is there some three things you can say? Hard work, something.
The first one was resilience.
Resilience. Uh-huh.
There were tough moments.
Yes.
I cried,
Uh-huh.
and people couldn't understand why.
Uh-huh.
And I think the other thing was mentorship.
Mentorship.
Should I say mentorship, or seeking help or seeking advice from a mentor? I used to talk to the guiding and counseling department, Moore University. I would go there, share with them, tell them what I feel, and I learned how to speak out.
Good.
Being vulnerable to the right person. I learned to differentiate between vulnerability and oversharing. It's good to be vulnerable to the right person, and you should be cautious not to overshare to the wrong person. That's when your world can grumble, because you've shared to the wrong person. Kidole kimoja kivunji chao. That is resilience, seeking mentorship, and the other one is seeking God.
God first.
God first.
So three things. Resilience, speaking out, seeking mentorship, and God first.
Yeah, hapo kwa kumtegemea Mungu.
Yes.
It was hard at some point, because I remember there were time I didn't have a specific church to fellowship. Yes, I could go to see you. You can find me we had Christian Union. And we had Catholic. I can associate with both of them so well. But the challenges I was facing, sometimes you go until you feel like you're left out. No one is there for you. God, you forsaken me. But God will always take you to give you a challenge for you to seek Him more and to draw back na kurudi kwake. So I can say my spiritual journey, it was also not stable, but at the end, at least I finished campus, and I thank God for that, because I left campus when I'm on. That is one thing, and I took everything positively, and I appreciate now. Gratitude.
Good. Chepkerio.
Yes.
The man from diversity.
Yes.
Tell us the diversity mix you used.
Yes.
Yes.
So first, number one is, even my students, I tell them to do hard work and not work smart. There's a difference between hard work and working smart. Hard work is for us who have not made it in life. Working smart is for those people who've made it in life. So you should learn to differentiate between the two. If you're still waking up at exactly 4:30 as a student or 4, you are working hard. For you to go to class and sit on that hard desk or on that hard chair, you are working hard. Work hard and believe in your dream. Working smart is meant for people who can go to Dubai yet their business are running okay. So that is their big difference. And most people try to misconstrue with that, but there's a big difference. Number 2 is having a SMART goal. I usually have the definition of SMART to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic targets. So you should have the 5 elements of specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and targets. So it should be a SMART goal. I know of a quote by Tony Robbins. He said that the first step of having a goal is turning the invisible to the visible. So you must be able to turn the invisible to the visible. So the moment you are not turning the invisible to be the visible ones, you are not having a SMART goal. So in as much as you are doing anything, have a goal, have a target, and ensure that it is a realistic one. Yes, so you should have those two key elements, and that has been my drive each and every day.
Good.
Yes.
Now let's transit. We are outside campus. I want to start with career. Before we go to this, there's a radical view. I don't know if you have heard of that. Actually, youth nowadays, they don't work so much for permanent employment.
Yes.
They actually focus on developing themselves, entrepreneurship, being their own selves and all that. But before we go into that, let's start with you specifically, because I've been seeing you teaching about employment skills, being employees. This youth is transiting.
Yes.
What should be their baseline? What should be these steps they need to take so that they can build their foundation as good employees?
Yeah. So the two of them of being self-employed and getting into employment are a good thing. I wouldn't tell you to quit your employment if you love employment. And I will not tell you to quit your self-employment to go for a government employment when you love being self-employed. I'll advise you stick to your whatever you can do with. But now there's this thing where you come in, especially when those of us who want to be self-employed, there's something called skills. And when it comes to skills, we have a lot. First, there's something called communication skills. Communication skills is very important. And even to any viewer, anybody in this country, we can realize that a few of the youths have the power to communicate. Everyone can talk, but a few can communicate. Yes. So what are you communicating? When you go to an interview, that is a concern, because when you do an interview, you find out that this person is good but lacks the power of communication. Is he able to convince clients? Is he able to bring in more customers or retain more the existing customers? So communication skills. And then there is other skills where you need to develop yourself and learn your own craft. I'll simply cut across that by telling a story of a ship that was built in the Caribbean, and it did for around 50 years. And after 50 years, the ship just went off. And a few years later, so many engineers were called. They were called to come and redo or come and repair the ship. And over 100 of them did not do it. One of the engineers came and said that I'll perform this thing with only 1 minute or 3 minutes. And in these 3 minutes, I'll do it perfectly and you'll pay me $10,000. So the guy was told, do it. He took a hammer, went to the ship, hit somewhere, and in 1 minute, 45 seconds, the ship was on. He was asked, why should we pay you $10,000 for doing a job for only 1 minute, 45 seconds? He said, you'll pay me $9,000 for taking a hammer. No, what $9,000 for knowing where to hit, and $1,000 for taking a hammer. Now, this is a story. You have this $9,000. This is for you to know where to hit. This is your craft, learning your craft. Taking a hammer is your skill. Your skill should enable you to get something from it. So you should learn your skill. You should learn your skills and everything, and skills majorly. And I usually tell them, build it. However long it will take, build it. We'll have the three of them. How experienced are you in your craft? Build your craft. And do you know well your craft? Yes. And how are you going to impact the society with your craft? There are three. So have a skill and build your skill. Yes.
Now, for the employees.
Yes.
Tell us something for the employees.
Those in government.
Yes.
Yes.
I saw your post on Facebook about what employees need to actually know. And I think that is very important message to give to this.
I have so many of them, but I'll start with one which most employees don't know. Your employees, your colleagues are not your friends. they're not your friends. The day you will quit that job, they'll start other things, and you will go and form other friends in your next station. They're not your friends. So don't stick to that friendship of that stuff, that room or any room that you are in. It is not friendship that will last. Number one, that is number one. Number two, your colleagues, avoid any, if I must say it correctly, avoid having a relationship with your employees, fellow colleagues. It will mess up your jobs. Number three, follow correct instructions from your employers. Yes, whatever they are telling you, do it. But now I'll have a message to the bosses. Let me take one for them today. I hope you don't get fired. This number one is, you've hired me to come and perform a job, yet you're asking me, can you do it? That is wrong. Why did you have to hire me if you knew that I was not going to do it? So if you are hiring me, I'm coming to do the job that I'm supposed. Just guide me. So guide your juniors. Number two for them, do not misuse or underrate your juniors. One day you'll be out of that office, someone will come in. And one day you might be demoted and someone will come in also. So when you are in that seat, treat others well. Do not mistreat. Yes.
I've allowed you to do that because even the youth in 20 to 26, 29, they'll actually be bosses somewhere.
Yes.
And it makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Good. So, do you have a comment about this?
It's been an interactive session.
Yes.
I've learned from my brother here, Hillary.
Yes.
It was really insightful, and I'm grateful to have met you today on this bench.
You too.
So thank you so much, Egon, for bringing us on board. We are all learning.
Yes.
And whatever I've shared today, I believe it will be a blessing to someone. It will encourage someone to not give up, to still believe in themselves, that you can still be that person you want to be. Don't look at your current moment. Yes, you can look at it, but if it is discouraging, don't stop there. There's something good coming up. Look at yourself on the mirror and just applaud yourself for you're strong, that you stood the ground and you never gave up. And I've really learned a lot, and I'm really grateful for having such great viewers, and we're yet to interact more with more viewers and be a blessing, inspire for change.
Yes, remember that this is actually video 3 of 10 videos, which talks specifically for the youth. I want you to use the space below to share your questions, to share discussions you want us to talk more about. Today we just talked about relationships, we talked about employment in a small span, but actually we focus so much on the experiences and chasing our dreams as youth, and actually handling the transitions that come across. So I want you again to do a parting shot now formally. Look at that camera. Tell us your phone number or your social networks if you are to get Jackie. Yes.
If you would like to reach out to me, I have Facebook, I have social media accounts. I have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You search my name, Tallam Jacqueline, Tallam, Jacqueline, Jacqueline. And my phone number is 0723 267 940. Thank you.
Asante sana. Yes.
Yes. So my Facebook handle name is Mwalimu Hillary Chepkerio. When you go to TikTok, Twitter, IG, all social platforms is Mwalimu Hillary Chepkerio. And my phone number is 0723 084543. That is where you can find me on calls. And you can also text if you have a question. And remember this, successful people look like you.
I like that. Successful people look like you. Those ones who have subscribed. Thank you so much for being part of this discussion. As a youth, we are going to take this through. So we have 7 videos to go in this series. And we are going to do episode by episode. And I'm going to invite these two once again for another session for the youth on a different topic. Asanteni sana and take yourself home to bio, that is a diversity.
Diversity.
And then the champions. Asante sana.
Thank you.